So Dave Ramsey may never become a Bitcoiner. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the real reason why that's probably true. It's probably not what you're thinking. How if you can get to 0.21 Bitcoin, you will be in the top 1% of Bitcoin holders. Why you should ignore Dave's perspective, Dave's advice on Bitcoin and get to that 0.21. And then we're going to talk about how and where you can do it super easily. By the way, for just meeting, I'm Brad, and I'm on a mission to help millennials and Gen X more deeply integrate Bitcoin into their personal finances so that they can get to financial independence in 10 years or less. So I've talked about this in other videos, but I probably this year, sometime here in 2025, actually stopped orange pilling people. And for those of you guys that are even new to Bitcoin, orange pilling is basically where you're trying to talk to someone about the benefits of Bitcoin. And so the reason that I stopped talking to people about orange pilling was that most people think of Bitcoin because of what they've heard in the mainstream financial press and things like that, that it's too risky, it's too volatile. A lot of people still think that it's a scam or a Ponzi scheme. A lot of people will also say, well, you know, man, it was great. It was a great investment. I'm sure for you, great, but I missed it. It's too late. And I think one of the biggest things is that I've just noticed that when I'm talking to someone, particularly from the middle class in the U.S. here, they may understand price inflation, like they see prices going up at the grocery store, but they don't really understand monetary inflation. And until you begin to understand monetary inflation, that's when Bitcoin starts to make sense. But the biggest reason that I think Dave Ramsey doesn't think Bitcoin, or will probably never become a Bitcoiner, is that, and I heard this quote from Saifedean Ammous-ish, I'll say, because I'm paraphrasing, unless Bitcoin solves a problem they have, they're never going to even consider it, okay? So this is what I found, like with the middle class particularly, is like, a lot of people have a problem, and I would say even a lot of wealthy people and a lot of older people that I've tried to talk to Bitcoin around, is that, you know, kind of like this quote that British HODL talked about, this conversation he had recently with Peter Schiff. He's like, Peter Schiff's like, you know, I'm already rich. I don't need it anyway. So there's a huge mindset around someone's approach and someone's being approachable about Bitcoin. So, but the thing is that you don't need to care about that. Bitcoin is here to stay, period. I don't care what anyone says. I've been in this space for more than 12 years. I heard about it probably back in 2011. So I've been studying it for a really, really long time. And I can tell you, and we'll talk about some of the reasons why it's not going away here in just a minute. Some of the interesting commentary that I've seen is from this guy named Jordy Visser, who is a macro economist. He was with Morgan Stanley for like 11 years, I think. And his analysis, and if you're not subscribed to his Substack newsletter, you should totally do this. But he's basically saying the market as it is right now is myopic. You know, it's very short-sighted. It's led by, you know, these economic dinosaurs. And I'll go into some of who those people are here in just a minute. And the biggest really trend that the market is going toward ultimately is the innovation part. So they're listening to these dinosaurs and they're ignoring the things that people like Elon Musk are talking about, you know, like this, the labor market is shifting. I mean, we're seeing that in real time. I mean, how many people do you know are losing their job? How many people do we hear about in the mainstream press that are talking about, you know, all these hundreds of thousands of job cuts, the AI, automation, and robotics juggernaut that's coming down the line. Logistics is going to shift as well. And then another thing that Elon has been talking about a lot lately is that, you know, energy as money. Which is really an interesting narrative around how Bitcoin actually works. So basically, he's saying that the next phase of all of this, you know, labor markets, AI, logistics, energy as money, is not priced in yet, okay? And so there's a sort of selective hearing by the vast majority of investors, both at the retail level as well as at the industrial level or the the institution level. That's the word I was looking for. So instead of listening to Elon Musk, the narratives are dominated by guys like Jamie Dimon and Warren Buffett, Jerome Powell. And all of these people have skepticism, and they have very traditional views. They still view Bitcoin through this sort of scratched lens of, it's a Ponzi scheme. It's the network of criminals. And it's a significant barrier for those considering Bitcoin as a viable asset. And understanding their fading influence in the space is really pivotal to understanding why we are sort of where we are. So that's really helped me a lot. Another thing that Jordy Visser's work has really helped me understand is this piece that he put out. It went viral. I think it was last month, maybe it was November, early November, where he talked about this being Bitcoin's IPO moment. And basically these trends that we talked about in the last slide is that these will drive a long-term price rally. Where we're going, you can kind of look at, the dinosaurs are skating to where the puck is. The innovators are skating to where the puck is going. And while we have this sort of downturn and we're in this sort of, lull right now, we will, pull out of it. So you can kind of think of, 4 groups are basically, sort of driving the demand for Bitcoin. So you can think of each bucket as a different type of buyer that is just now coming online or expanding its exposure. So the first bucket would be the bucket that I would fall into. These are the early holders, the OG sellers. These are people that saw the innovation that Bitcoin was and is kind of based in the libertarian Austrian economics of it. The second phase is the institutional capital that's coming in, and you can characterize this as the people that came in around 2020 and the Michael Saylor, and this is sort of the pre-innovation phase of it. You'll also see the new digital wallet users, and this is really, kind of an international thing. People all over the world, a lot of people think of Bitcoin as kind of a U.S. phenomenon, but it's actually a global thing. And so you have these new digital wallet users, and many, many, many new people are coming into the system, the ecosystem. One of the things that he mentioned was that, when one of these OG sellers sells, you literally have thousands of new buyers that are buying these Bitcoin, that are establishing new wallets or buying through the ETF, and they're establishing, sort of a baseline of their position, which they will more than likely never sell out of. And then that fourth group would be the merchants and the payment ecosystem players. And we're seeing that with the advent of, the Square app being able to accept Bitcoin and things of that nature. So the current fiat price is we're in a redistribution phase. So it's not a weakness. When all 4 of these buckets fill up, he's arguing, especially the massive digital wallet cohort, billions of new participants will buy into Bitcoin, and this will set up a multi-year bull run, which is what I agree with. So we're poised for growth as the participation of new buyers increases. And this, once all these sellers are sort of finished selling in this phase, it's going to create that upward pressure on the price. And the further, that Bitcoin gets integrated into the financial system, into our daily lives, this is a big part of what I'm doing with this platform, is helping everyday people integrate Bitcoin into their daily personal finances, so that the more you do that and the more the price continues to rise, the more you're going to benefit from that. So the TLDR, or too long didn't read, on 0.21 Bitcoin is owning 0.21 Bitcoin today is like owning a small piece of a decentralized, fixed supply, immutable, global future reserve asset that is both money. It's actually money. It's digital cash, as it says in the white paper, and it's also an incredible store of value, i.e. digital gold. It's affordable. It already puts you in the elite top 1% of holders, which I talked about before. Essentially there are 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be produced. If you own 0.21, you'll be one of 100 million people, essentially, loose math. And this can grow dramatically as Bitcoin matures and gives you a hedge against inflation and a foothold in the emerging digital money economy. Plus, at today's price, 0.21 Bitcoin is under $20,000. So especially if you're, one of these people that are watching it, I just talked to a new client. A lot of you guys are starting to set up these 30-minute calls. These are great. It helps me get more insight into what you're doing, what needs that you have. And, this gentleman that I just talked to is a newer Bitcoiner. He's only been in Bitcoin for a few months. So this is, for him and his net worth, this is an overall a pretty insignificant part of that, but it might be more significant for you right now. And so that's where having a dollar cost averaging, strategy of buying, maybe buying, $5 a day or $10 a day. You can use the Fold app for that. You can use Robinhood for that. There's all kinds of different. So that's the last slide that I wanted to show, is that, you can do that. It's easier than ever to get Bitcoin. So you've got the Fold Visa card, which I talk about all the time, which is kind of like a Bitcoin checking account. The Gemini Bitcoin MasterCard, which I pretty much use on a daily basis. You've got River.com, which is a Bitcoin only exchange. Swan.com also is a Bitcoin only exchange. You can get it on Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, Robinhood, SoFi, Acorns, your Fidelity brokerage account, Vanguard, Charles Schwab, and so many more. So that's what I have for you today. I wanted to just kind of talk about, Dave Ramsey and his ilk are probably never going to be Bitcoiners, because Bitcoin, in their minds, doesn't solve a problem that they have. They're already super rich. Why would they care about Bitcoin? Whereas you and I, as plebes, are, we have a little bit different situation. So by the way, I just wanted to ask if you're subscribed to the channel. I would love to have you as a subscriber. Thank you for all the new subscribers. I'm enjoying the comments that you're leaving. Please do leave a comment. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. And by the way, 84% of you guys that watch my videos are not subscribed. So I would love it if you thought to do that. It's a free and easy way to support the channel, and it does help get this content out to more people. So thanks again for watching the video. We're going to do more about this 0.21 Bitcoin and helping you get there, helping you kind of think about that. So we will see you in the next video. Okay, since you made it this far in the video, I wanted to offer 2 resources that will help you integrate Bitcoin more deeply into your personal finances. Number 1, Gemini's Orange Bitcoin MasterCard. You can earn up to 4% Bitcoin on everyday purchases like gas, dining, groceries, retail purchases. There's no annual fee, no foreign transaction fees, and no exchange fees on any of your rewards. Plus, if you sign up today using my link in the video description below, you get $200 in Bitcoin when you spend $3,000 in your first 90 days. The link is in the description and the comments below. Number 2, I'm also offering one-to-one calls to answer questions and to help you integrate Bitcoin into your personal finances more deeply, including traditional FIRE and Bitcoin planning, as well as Bitcoin self-custody. Link is in the video description below for that.